What is going on, everybody? Chris Grant here, and I'm back with another video on compare international Amazon prices. Now, this kind of deserves its own video because uh, you could do a lot with this. We got to thinking about it, we got to talking about it just a little bit, and we introduced this in one of our other videos. But this is really a more powerful feature than I really thought before. So if you remember, we open this compare international prices and we get to see a lot of really cool data. So number one, down here at the bottom, we can choose what locales or what marketplaces we want to compare prices or sales ranks in and things like that. So I've chosen Amazon.com in North America. I've chosen Mexico, so .com, .mx. And in Europe, I've chosen the UK. Now, I could also choose .de, which is going to be Germany. I could choose France as well if I want to, Italy, Spain, and then there's Japan and India as well if we wanted to add those in there, okay? But for right now, we're just going to do these three marketplaces, but you can look at any of them that you want to. We could add Canada in there as well. And once we add Canada, we come back out, we open this back up, and there we go. We've got US, UK, Mexico right now, and Canada is right here as well, okay? So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into what this does. So number one, this is going to show me at the top left what the buy box price is for each one of these marketplaces. We've got North America at 1902. We've got Mexico at 3217. We've got Canada at 3703 and Europe at 3699. And then in the next column, we've got whether or not Amazon is in stock. And sure enough, Amazon's in stock in the US for 1902, in Mexico for 3217. They're not in stock in Canada or in the UK, but we do have new prices in those places. So the lowest new price in the US is 1902, 3217 in Mexico. 3032 is the low price in Canada. And you have to remember that that new price does not necessarily include any shipping costs. So that could be an FBM seller who's not getting the buy box, or it could be an FBM seller who is getting the buy box, but the shipping cost is not included. And then the same thing here in the UK, 3564, even though 3699 seems to have the buy box. And then we've got a column for used prices. Then we can also open this up on any marketplace. So if we click this, it's going to open up Amazon.com in the US. If we were to click here, this is going to open up Amazon UK, and we'll be able to see this particular, let me close that down to continue. I've got a lot of pop-ups here, but we can see here that we've got this this item here in the UK, and then all of the UK information as well, okay? And we do that for every single marketplace. Here you can open up the reviews, that's the stars. And then we also get to see the shipping solution here. So it looks like these are actually being shipped by FBA. This one is not considered FBA. And then we've got a graph. Now over in the graph section, we can choose a bunch of different options. We've got Amazon. So this shows us where Amazon is in stock. We've got the US in green. We've got the UK in light blue. So it looks like maybe the UK was in stock by Amazon in the past. Sure enough, it's there. We've got Mexico, no Canada. All right, but if we go over to the news section, now we've got the US, the UK, Canada, and Mexico. And this is the prices. So this shows the pricing across those different marketplaces. And what's really cool about this, in my opinion, is we can pretty easily see where the arbitrage opportunities are. So for example, we can see, all right, well, here is the price in the US. Here's the price in Canada or the UK. So it looks like there's probably enough spread that I might have the opportunity for some arbitrage here. The next thing we can do is we can look at used prices. This is something you're not really going to be doing. You're probably not going to be looking for arbitrage opportunities in the used space. But then we can look at sales rank, and this will give us an idea as to whether or not the item is actually selling. So we can see here in the US, that green line down at the bottom, it's being blocked out a little bit by Mexico, but we can see that that's got a really solid line of sales there. That sales rank is very low. The sales rank is pretty flat, and so we know that it's moving really, really quickly. If we look here in the UK, we can see it's definitely not moving nearly as fast, but there is movement in this sales rank. It's fairly consistent, okay? And it looks right now that here at the latest portion, right through here, the sales rank's actually gotten significantly better over in the UK. We can see Canada. I don't actually see any any sales rank information for Canada, and then we also get to see Mexico. Now, the only thing that you cannot tell by the sales rank is what the difference in velocity might be across the marketplaces. A sales rank of 500 in the US is going to sell a lot faster than most of these other marketplaces, all right? So if you're going to test this particular model, I would never suggest that you go super deep. You're always going to want to test and verify. Okay, but this is an easy way to know whether or not these other marketplaces are actually moving the product. Then, of course, we have the list price. List price is what it is. We've talked about that. It's not really that important. We've got collectible, new third-party FBM, and it's got the little truck here, so it's supposed to also include the shipping cost. So it should pick that up. It may not, though. But you can see here in the UK, $36.59. That's pretty close to the buy box price, so that's probably picking it up there. Now, a couple other things you can do here is you can see the spread in new third-party sellers. Now, you're not going to be buying from third-party sellers, so not a huge deal. You're going to want to compare the Amazon price to what you could list it for on Amazon, and we'll talk about that here once we get to the buy box price. Warehouse deals, if any, show up. Some have shown up in the US and the UK. We've got new third-party FBA prices. So these are the prices for FBA sellers in each of their respective countries: US, UK, Canada, Mexico. We've got the new offer count, right? US in green, UK in blue, Canada in yellow, Mexico in red. And this can also give you a bit of an insight as to whether or not something is selling. So what we can see here in the UK, the number of sellers has moved. It's gone up and it's gone down. And we can also look at the sales rank. So we can verify that, yes, some things are moving here most likely. We cannot guarantee that that information is, 100% accurate, but we know that there's sales rank. We know there's movement in the number of sellers. That's a pretty good indication that this item is actually selling. And we can see that across all of the different marketplaces here. There is movement in the number of sellers. You can also see that for used offer count, collectible offer count. Then we get to see the rating. All right. And it looks like it's really only got a rating in the US right now, that or they're exactly the same across all marketplaces. And maybe there's just not showing up. Nope, doesn't look like that. Looks like US is the only one getting picked up currently. We do get to see the review count across all of the countries. So you can see the US, you can see Mexico, you can see the UK, you can see Canada, and they're all different here, all right? 45.67, 43.45, 44.83, and so on. This typically means that a review count going up and to the right is typically an indication that an item is moving. Now, you do need to make sure that Amazon's not pulling over all the reviews from the US into the UK and things like that. But if you're seeing sales rank movement and you're seeing positive movement in the number of reviews and you're seeing movement in the number of sellers, you've got an idea that this is definitely moving, okay? Next, we've got the buy box prices. So we've got the US here in green, the UK again in blue, Canada in this mustard color, and then Mexico in this reddish color. We can see that Amazon's really the one in the buy box pretty much all the time in Mexico and the US, but in these other two countries, it looks like third-party sellers. And I don't know. Nope, those are not clickable. In the regular, in the regular Keep a Graph, these little diamonds and things would be clickable. They're not here, but they will give you some idea, some indication as to what the prices are across the different marketplaces. And these will all be changed over to dollars, or if you've set up currency conversion, whatever country you might be in, that will save for you. So also check used like new, used very good, and used acceptable. We're not really going to go over those because those are things that they're pretty self-explanatory. However, it's not something you're really probably going to use. And then we've got eBay new prices. It looks like it pulled some information for the UK on eBay. It looks like 31.74 over in the UK. So there could be some opportunity to also sell on eBay in another marketplace, but probably not going to use that too much either. But as we were looking at this and thinking about this, there really is some pretty cool opportunities here. If you're deciding that you want to sell something on Amazon, maybe from a Walmart or a Target over to Amazon, but then you can see the exact same item goes for more in another marketplace, and you have the ability to get those items to that marketplace, you may be able to take advantage of some cross-border arbitrage opportunities that other people are not taking advantage of, or maybe they don't have the ability to take advantage of this. So kind of a cool thing here, and something that we can kind of see arbitrage opportunities right on Amazon. There's probably an entire business model of buying directly from Amazon and shipping to other marketplaces. And if you want to build that out and you want to, get interviewed, make sure to reach out to me. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it dove a little bit deeper into that international Amazon prices for you and gives you an idea of what you can use it for. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.